there and he votes, he comes back. But we do a lot of activities to raise funds to make sure that we help our veterans. And such as a program that you have, Jackie, you talk about the Golden Age program. That's a program that helps a lot of our veterans. And I know I participated in that because I think all of us have got to try to do whatever we can do to make someone else's life a little bit better and enjoyable.
Right.
Danny Elkers has a song called Soldier's Nightmare, and he has a video to it. And if you guys ever get a chance, look it up on YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's really... I sent it to a friend that was in Iraq, Frank Castorena, and he saw it when he was in Iraq, and he said it helped him.
That's good.
Yeah,
right.
it's really a neat story.
Yeah.
And another
wake up, so it seems. I can't wake up, what does it mean? Can't wake up, so it seems. Can't wake up, what does it mean? In my dream, of this nightmare of misery. It's a vision of the night dream, breaking my soul down to the extreme, traveling beyond places, so many stops, scary faces, running high, tree spaces.
Has our world become a battle zone? The bloodshed of all these strangers. When does this war end? Tell me, when does it end?
Can't wake up, so it seems. Can't wake up, what does it mean? In my dreams, all this nightmare of misery. When I wake up to a tunnel vision, I am watching that television. Is this reality? Full illusion of morality. Spread the word and let me free. Listen to our people in need to be said and heard. Indeed, peace on earth. Don't you see? Who's the sacrifice? Today's crime, bloodshed. The honor color of the dead red. Through the freedom bringing troops home, united soldiers as one. Can't wake up, so it seems. Can't wake up, what does it mean? In my dreams, all this nightmare of misery. It's a nightmare of tonight's dreams. I'm a soldier in a time machine. I can't run, I can't hide. It's my life to survive. Darkness won't stay alive. Walking down to take the soul. A wicked war, soul rise, soul rise.
Forgive us, Lord. They're coming home. What is this senseless act of war? At the end, no one prevails. Oh, Lord, bring us peace so your soldiers can come home.
Can't wake up, so it seems. Can't wake up, what does it mean? In my dream, got this nightmare of misery. Can't wake up, so it seems. Can't wake up, what does it mean? In my dream, got this nightmare of misery.
note that they need to recognize is the suicide rate.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Rate.
that's
That
right,
suicide rate is just
Out of the
enormous.
roof.
It's outrageous, and we have to do something about that and cut that down as much as we can,
Right.
because now it's the the younger veterans that are committing suicide, and they need that help, and like I said, they don't realize they're having this problem, and then before you know it, they're gone.
Right.
Yeah, but somebody who who knows of a man or a woman who have served, we've got to make sure that we notify someone so they can get the appropriate counseling. And I know that self-pride and others, they don't want to, but they should, because we care about them and we want to prevent them from committing suicide. And so it's important that we provide that kind of training, or to individuals as well, who are coming back, who want to make the adjustment and have a difficult time, and even within the job, some of them get fired, and then when we look at many of our homeless right now that are veterans. That have served during that period of time, who have given up on themselves, and they felt that no one really cared. And like you said, Jackie, you take that veteran and you care. And our society should care a lot more about our veterans, because, as I stated before, is that we've got to continue to remember that these men and women who served our country were willing to sacrifice and willing to serve during a period of time, whether it was war, whether it was peace, so that we will enjoy those lives a lot better, and that's why our quality of life is a lot better today in the United States and any other country. This is the best country to live in. And like Ruben, your experiences, and your parents' experiences, and why you came to this country and why you wanted to serve, because you wanted to make sure that not only that you were proud to serve and for the freedoms that we have, and we look at the Statue of Liberty, and that's what, when we look at it, justice and equality for all, and that's all we're asking for, is that we want the same kind of freedom. So it doesn't matter whether you're black, you're brown, you're white, you're Indian, whomever that you are, is that this country, is that we want all of us to be treated equally and fairly and with the same kind of respect and the same kind of dignity that anybody else has. And sometimes, our society forgets that, and that we get caught up in racism in one way or the other, or a division, because we talk about immigration, we talk about something, but we forget that our country is made up a multitude of all kinds of people that come to this country for the same reasons that others have come for. And the men and women who are willing to serve because they believe in this country. And this country is probably the greatest country on earth. And I'm proud to have served during that period of time. And I know when I first went in and got drafted, I didn't know where I was going. I thought I was just going to be drafted and go through the inspections, and I was going to go back home. And before I knew it, I was in a plane to Fort Bliss, Texas. And I said, "Oh my Lord!" I said, "Mama me llevaron."
You weren't just defending people's freedom, but you're also defending the people's right to dream.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Because without
that's
it,
true, Paulina. That's true.
And, that's something I'm very proud of, and
Right.
I'll take to my deathbed, and that's one thing you can never go wrong.
Right.
Something like that.
it's not just about freedom; it's about the right to dream, about
Exactly.
having.
And in the Marine Corps, they build men. They change your whole lifestyle.
Right.
You come out proud. You come out a different person.
Right.
Than when you went in, and that's why we feel so strong about the Corps,
Right.
because they put us in a position of respect and where we can go ahead and raise our own families and
Right.
and have the
Same morals brought up. with
Yes,
them.
Yeah,
yes.
you know
Discipline.
about that time, all of us actually, we were walking that fine line of as far as the law goes, and the Marine Corps saved every one of us.
Really.
Yes.
No, but
yes.
you know what? Not just the Marine Corps, all right? Let's
Well,
just
the
get in there.
military.
I want to talk about the Air Force and
military,
the Army, the
that's what I
military. I mean, for a lot of us, as a young kid going in there and being drafted, I think it gave me an opportunity to reflect, like you and others, in terms of what we wanted to do with our life when we got back out here. What we wanted to be, and for me, it was like, I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to get an education, and I wanted to get scholarships, and maybe I wanted to become a professional baseball player, and thinking I was going to do that. But it gave me that opportunity. It built men and women during
Right.
that period of time.
Sure
and
does.
for a lot of us, I mean, we were just young kids. We just didn't know what are we going to do with our lives. Where are we going to work? What do we,
Right.
what's going to happen to us?
That's right.
Or do we want to make this a career? And I probably said to myself, maybe I should have made it a career. I'd have had, retirement from the military.
Well, see, like Ruben was saying, when we were younger, we were in this gang. It's called the Rural Counts, and
I remember them.
the Rural Counts
hearing-
against
yeah.
the Rural Angels, the Conquistadores from Colton. A lot of young Hispanics, were involved in these
Right.
gangs. Not as bad as they are now. They're where they shoot each other
Yeah,
and drive
it's
by
total different
and all that drugs and stuff. No, we were just you guys don't belong in our territory. You're stealing our girlfriends and get out. We'll run you out of town. But the thing about it is that we changed that. We were on our
The way
way.
of thinking
We were
changed.
on our way to to prison, and some of the guys did go to prison.
Right.
Some of them died of overdose of heroin down the road, and it's a shame because they were our friends.
Yeah.
And we feel bad about
And
that.
on that note, speaking of that exactly, we used to have fights with these guys, right? The guys from Colton were that particular gang was Los Conquistadores from Colton,
Yeah.
right? And we had a lot of beef with them. And about the time we were all about the same age, so we all actually went. The majority of us went in the service, Marine Corps usually, or the Army, and some Navy and Air Force. But I can remember thinking of two guys. I mean, you remember Chinil from Colton,
Yes.
and they used to call him Beaver, Gilbert, and I remember we were the same age. We graduated the same time. They were from Colton. We were from San Bernardino. And they were they were both in the Marine Corps. They went over the same time we did. I can remember sitting in a hole at night on watch and thinking, man, how dumb the things we used to do. We used to get in fights with these guys. And these guys are in a hole somewhere else.
And you had
in
to
the
trust them
country,
with your
just
life.
like me.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I used to say a little prayer, Lord, keep them safe. And these were the guys that we used to, have
Right.
beef with. And unfortunately, they both
Yeah, but
perished.
both of you
Yeah.
became changed
Yeah, exactly.
individuals
That's right.
because you realized the importance of one another's
Yeah.
lives and the importance of comrade and friendship and what it means to protect yourself, especially, when you're far away and you're relying on your comrades to protect you, and you know who's going to give their life for
Yeah.
you, and
And
who
what
you
co-
want in that foxhole and who you don't want.
What it comes down to is there are some things worth fighting for. There's some things that aren't. And what we were doing on the streets weren't worth it.
No.
Yeah.
And now the Conquistadores, they're a club now, just like the Gents organization.
Right.
They help out, veterans and
Right.
Scholarships.
and Danny Felix
Yeah.
recently
Yeah.
just donated some monies for some of the vets that were down and out.
Right.
And twice they did that twice. Danny told me,
Yeah, I know
Jack,
Danny.
find me a veteran that's down and out, and that's what we want to do. And they donated money, to him. They found a young Iraqi veteran also. Then the other day, they're throwing a golf tournament, and so in turn they wanted us to have a sign. For to benefit them. So we did. I went and I told all the guys, and everybody all pitched in, and now we're helping each other out.
Yeah, instead
And
of being
for the
against
record,
each other,
Danny
you
was in
guys
the
are
Army.
at
I
a
just thought I'd
different
throw
level.
that
Yeah,
in.
well, I
he was all right.
appreciate that, Ruben. But talking
he
about
was.
some of the activities that were going on during that period of time before you went in, and these organizations that existed that are not like the gangs that we talk about in today's society, and the ones that were there then that are now are doing a lot to try to make our communities a lot better.
Exactly.
And this is good that somebody says, look, I used to belong to this. I wasn't. Well, maybe I was proud to be in it, but the comrade and everything else. But now they're saying, look, we want to do is to change people's lives. And I know that the GI, not only the GI Forum, but the Gents organizations and the Monarchs, and the Conquistadores and some of these others are now doing a lot of scholarships, doing a lot of
Yes.
community activities, and telling people to redirect their lives and say, look, don't be like me, be something a little bit different other than my experiences that I had in the military that helped me change my way of
Exactly.
life.
And
Right.
they don't necessarily have to
Yeah.
go through those experiences to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, the military helped all of us actually.
Right.
Oh, it did.
Changed our lives.
That's why when I came back, the GI Bill, if it hadn't been for the GI Bill, I probably wouldn't have been able, my parents couldn't afford to send me to a college, but it was a GI Bill that provided the financial assistance for me to get my education, plus loans. I mean, and then I had to pay all these loans afterwards. That was the only problem. That's why, we've got to defer a lot of these loans right now to a lot of our students, and get more students involved in education, because I think it's important that they obtain an education, and that we also, find a way so they don't have these big loans, and most of these kids that are going through college or community college try to obtain these loans that are so high, and that's why I want to bring in hopefully at sometime in the future to get someone from education to talk about the effects and the needs for more students to go on to a community college, state college, university, become productive citizens, work in our society, but at the same time have forgiveness of their loans, because they borrow all this money, and yet they're paying back to our society if they get a job. But those are things that in the future.
Right.
But today, I just really want to thank both of you, Ruben Lewis and Jackie Gomez for coming and talking and sharing your experiences when you were in the military. And hopefully that many of the audience that is out there has listened, that these two individuals and myself as a veteran were willing to serve during the time of war. And whether you serve during a time of war or you serve in peace, it's important that we recognize our men and women who have served us. And tomorrow, that you think about those fallen heroes, those individuals, those memories that we have. Talk to someone, and I'm sure that many of the audience out there today knows of someone who has served in the military, whether they're currently alive or who has passed away or who died during the period of time, and remembering them and thanking them and says, thank you for allowing me to have the freedoms that I have today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have two friends that were Iraq vets, and that's Gaspar Diaz and Frank Castorena.
Yeah, I was just talking to Frank Navarro. He served during the time in the military, and I know that he's going to be there at the Colton Hermosa Cemetery.
Yes.
And I remember Sonny Abril.
Yes,
Sonny
definitely.
Abril was always there at the events there in Colton.
And you also go to all these events. He would go from one to the other and not miss one.
Yeah, I think I went to about 6 or 7 veterans events on Memorial Day. It was difficult going and then running out, but we still got a lot of them that are going on, and I hope that our country continues to honor a Memorial Day and not just look at it as a day that we have picnic or spend time with our families, but if we do, it's nothing wrong with spending time with our family, but remembering that we're spending time with our family because it was a man or a woman who served our country, or our fallen heroes that allowed us to do that. And at one time we should have just a moment of silence and thank many of our military personnel who have served then, who are currently serving, and will continue to serve this country. So again, I want to thank everyone, for listening. I want to thank the audience, and want to remind everybody that tomorrow's Memorial Day. It'll be at Green Acres, 11 a.m. In the morning. That's 11715 Cedar Avenue in Bloomington, California. And then we'll also be having one right here at Mountain View Cemetery here in San Bernardino. That's at 570 East Highland, and that's put on by the American Legion Post 14. And then the Rialto Parks Cemetery, and that's at 200 North Willow Avenue, and that's from 10 to 1. And that's put on by the American Legion Post 422, which I'm a member of Post 422. And I'm also a member of the VFW right here at 710-2 as well. And then also at Colton Hermosa Cemetery at 10 a.m. Hopefully that a lot of you will be able to go and see many of our men and women who are
They always have
speaking
a nice
and honoring those as we place a flag or buy a puppy or have a puppy that we wear during that day to recognize those, and then also to recognize our POWs and MIAs too as well. This is an opportunity for all of us to come together and congregate, and I'm glad that the Danny Alcarez production has given us this opportunity on radio 1050 AM to discuss.
And look at his song "Soldier's Nightmare." It's on YouTube, and you probably really like it.
We will.
It's actually very.
But again, I want to thank you, and remember to celebrate, our MIAs and POWs the third Friday in September, which is legislation that I carried, and then of course the legislation that I carried for post-traumatic syndrome, to recognize many of our men and women, and hopefully that we can continue to tell them to seek help, seek assistance. And you veterans out there, make sure you take advantage of the opportunities at Loma Linda Veterans Hospital. Take your DD 214, and you'll be surprised that it's excellent service that you can get there. And at the end, it's probably a lot cheaper than going somewhere else.
And James Martinez like to say salute to you too, because he's a veteran. And Jason, my friend in Washington.
Okay. Again, thank you very much for having us here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It was nice having you guys.
I can't wake up, so it seems. I can't wake up, what does it mean? Can't wake up, so it seems. Can't wake up, what does it mean? In my dream, of this nightmare of misery. It's a vision of a night dream, breaking my soul down to the extreme. Traveling beyond distant places, so many stops and scary faces, running high amid tree spaces. As our world become a battle zone, the bloodshed of all these strangers. When does this war end?